to give a little bit of time for people to filter in, and during that time, I would like for our two players for today's session, Alex and Bree, to introduce their characters, give a brief little bit about their personality, their backstory, physical descriptions, and so forth.
So my character his name is Kador Moonhide. He is a druid, a human druid, who follows the teachings of Elona. He's about 20 years old, around 6 foot tall, 185 pounds, got green eyes, brown hair, fair skin. He's kind of timid, I would say. He's not like a major go-getter of things unless like it's really important to him, such as the forest and his conclave. And I mean, he kind of grew up around the forest. I would say he probably lived in maybe a small village, like on the outside, and that's kind of how he grew up. And as he grew up, he kind of got to know the conclave a bit more, and then decided that that's where he wanted to invest his time, is to become a druid and become part of the conclave.
Awesome. All right, I guess I'll go next since we're the only two doing this. And my character's name is Ysarelle. If anyone cares, that is spelled with a Y at the beginning. I am a half-elf ranger. She's medium size character, around age 20, half-elf. Half-elves, though, have kind of a weird thing going on with age. Like, she's still in the elf race a little bit on the younger side, like more like a 10, I guess, a 10 or 12-year-old in a sense. She is about 5'5", weighs about 115. Her eyes are green, like all half-elves, but she inherited black hair and light brown skin from her human parent. She also has been introduced to Elona, the deity. She's not as into religion necessarily as much as her counterpart here, but she understands where all that Elona has done for the world, and she appreciates it. And she definitely appreciates it considering she likes to be out in the woods. She actually grew up in Oasis, so she was actually born in the desert. She's used to desert life. Unfortunately, her parents did not. They chose to leave her. They did not want to keep her, so she was actually thrown into an orphanage pretty early in her life. She spent a lot of time, as much time as she was allowed, outdoors. She always had an interest in survival outside, which, if any of you have been to any sort of desert in the world, you know that's incredibly difficult to do. So she finds it a lot easier to survive and appreciate the forest, but she does have a heart for anything in the desert. And yeah, she was never adopted, so she's got kind of a chip on her shoulder about that. She's a little sad about that. But yet she has complete faith in humanity. She has faith in humanity, let's just say, because she hasn't seen very much of humanity at all. Or rather, by humanity, I mean the world. She's only been in Oasis, and she's only ever been to the forest. So immediately after they kicked her out for being basically too old for being in the orphanage, she went to the woods to start training as a ranger, and those are the only two lifestyles she's ever known. So she's super optimistic about the world and wants to see more of it, and she thinks there's so much good out there. So we'll see if she realizes if that's true or not.
I'm gonna be so sad when it's just crushed.
That won't happen. I do have one question that is relevant to our adventure, which is for each character, Kador and Ysarelle, what is your overall level of social skills?
Well, I would say Kador does not have very good skills, and his charisma shows it. So he's not very good at communicating. Probably, I think he's better communicating with nature, definitely. And then when it comes to like people of the world, he's probably gonna take like he's not gonna do well because, like I said, he's timid. So he's not gonna be putting himself out there. He's not going to try to bring conflict and all that. He's kind of gonna shy away.
Her social skills are pretty good despite being an orphan. But because she spent a lot of time alone in the wilderness, she's not the kind of person who will willingly go up to someone to talk to them. She does not care, or rather, she likes it when people come up to talk to her, and she will willingly talk to them about almost anything because, of course, she's very optimistic and excited to learn more about the world. So she's not outgoing, but she's not fully reserved either.
Yeah.
Kador, what was life
Yeah.
like for you growing up in your hometown?
I think it was tough. I think resources in general was good, but I think one of the reasons why he has trouble communicating with other people and why he turned to the forest was because he didn't have the greatest time. Like people didn't show him respect because he was just a kid. They talked down to him, and the forest didn't. And so that's why he decided to leave his town and go into the forest with the druids who seemed to give him more respect.
And the animals never stab you in the back.
No, the animals were fine. He could talk their ear off if he wanted to.
I got a similar question for Ysarelle. What was life like growing up in the orphanage?
It was not as bad as some might think for an orphanage. She really likes being on her own though. So whenever she was not required to do things with the other children, like learn any sort of education or do any sort of physical activity or eat together, she would just kind of be outside on her own. She did get a little bit of ridicule for that though, obviously, because kids are kids, no matter what race they are, they probably are going to poke fun at someone who is different and doesn't like to hang out with you or try to be in the cool group. So it was kind of a typical childhood, but the worst part was probably every time someone would, people would come looking to adopt and then she was never chosen. That was probably the hardest part of her childhood. She always kind of thought that, she was worth being adopted and it never really happened. So
Aw, that's so sad.
yeah, but she's she's ready to go. She's excited about the world. She wants to do stuff.
I guess it's partially then not that bad of a thing that regardless of whether you're a human or half elf, the orphanage says you're 18. Okay, see you later. Because now she can just go make her own life.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, where we
Yeah,
are in the story now involves the status of Kador in the druid conclave. Because you guys know what that is, but the listeners may not know what that is. So the Great Forest is very, very big and is located actually not that far from where Tristan's rogue is from. And when I say big, I mean it's the size of a region, such as the one where we are going. It is protected by the Druid Conclave, and the Druid Conclave is comprised of the highest level druids in the area. And the way to join the Druid Conclave is to have a mentor become a druid and then gain the respect of the Conclave. This involves a pilgrimage, which is more or less mandatory. Such pilgrimages are also recommended to the rangers and barbarians who frequent the Great Forest. The rangers will pick entire areas to protect, as will the barbarians, except the rangers don't pee on trees as a way to mark territory. At some point after reaching maturity, anyone who has a working relationship with the Conclave is encouraged at some point to go on some sort of journey of self-discovery. The Druids like to call it a pilgrimage. That is what is currently going on with Kador, who has been encouraged to go on such a pilgrimage. This is a twofold venture. One is self-discovery to decide what kind of druid am I going to be, what path will I take as a druid, because there's a lot of different ways you can go. And the other is simply to look for opportunities where nature is being disrespected or harmed, and then right those wrongs in as non-violent of a manner as possible. But they're not prohibiting violence, obviously, or this wouldn't be Dungeons and Dragons, would it?
Probably not.
The head of the Conclave is the Archdruid, and just like the members of the Conclave, they're more often than not, the Archdruid will be in the forest somewhere. But members of the Conclave and the Archdruid will sometimes go on short journeys to take care of something or make contact with other druids that they know, or some other reason to go on a journey. So we are at the point in the story where Kador has chosen to begin his pilgrimage, and Ysarelle, who has at the same time achieved her rangerness from whatever methods she has seen fit. They are, at the very least, acquaintances, maybe even good friends. They are beginning their journey together for various reasons. Ysarelle, having grown up in an orphanage and then spends the past 2 years in the Great Forest, is kind of thinking, maybe there's more to life than an orphanage in a forest, and I need to see more of it before I decide what I want to do with my life. So, hey, my friend Kador is going on a journey. I guess I'll go with him. So that's where we are.
Old
Yeah.
buddy Kador.
Yes.
And where are we going?
So Alex mentioned that Kador was from a town just near the forest. And I sort of, it depends on the size of the town, Kador, that will determine kind of where we're going.
It's a small village.
Okay. Small?
I wouldn't say super small, but it's small enough that it shouldn't be considered a town. It's just a village.
Okay. So I have an idea of where that is. It is a commerce-driven waypoint, basically, that on a road that merchants travel to and from. I don't know if you got to catch episode 1 yet, but it is the road that we mentioned briefly on episode 1, that it exists for one reason and one reason alone. It is a T-junction of 2 roads that are between various cities where merchants travel. Now, where you currently are is the far eastern end of the forest, and it's going to take several days of traveling down the road going west to get there. But basically, it's better to head out of the forest now so the Conclave doesn't think, oh, he's just heading west in the forest, I guess he's not going on his pilgrimage. So where we're headed is actually the city of Santer, which is not large, but it is the nearest city to where you are that is attached to the road that will take you to your home, which is called Salem.
Salem, like Salem witch trials?
No,
but with an N?
Salem.
Okay.
And by the way, Bree, there is a town named Bree.
Yeah, most times there are.
So we are traveling through the forest. It is only a few hours to get from where you were, which was in proximity to the Conclave, to the edge of the forest, and then from there only a few more hours, maybe the rest of the day, to get to Santer. So as we are traveling, there is a situation now where I do need a spot check and a listen check.
Oh. Okay, let's get to that. You need both listen and spot?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so good at both of them.
Ooh. Well, I rolled. Do I choose which one to apply it to?
Well, I hope you chose that before you rolled.
Yeah, I just did top to bottom. So listen, I rolled a 10, and my modifier is 6, so that was 16. And then spot, unfortunately, I only rolled a 3, but my modifier is 6 there, so it was a 9.
Okay, and Kador?
So for my listen, I got a 15, and for my spot, I got a 21.
Oh, dang.
Fortunately, we have rolled high enough that we are very aware of what's going on. There seems to be agitation coming from ahead. It's the sound of scurrying, and with your heightened senses of nature, you were able to spot and hear what you know to be the sounds of agitation. It reminds you very much of whenever there's bad weather coming and suddenly the vermin of the forest are scurrying, that sort of thing. Only it's very clear outside. The sun, just like you can see on the stream, is beaming down through the forest top, and it doesn't seem to make any sense what's going on right now, but the forest is agitated, and you can tell that there is vermin scurrying around, and you actually do spot something in the distance. Alex, you said you got a 21 in spot?
Yes.
Okay. You spot something that you've only seen one other time in your life in the forest, which has only been a few years. It is a medium-sized vermin.
It's a vermin.
Would you like to roll knowledge nature?
Yes, I might as well. I'm pretty good at nature as well. I'm not as good with it as compared to this stuff. Oh, that wasn't as good. I got an 11.
Okay. This is vermin that is usually not going to be the size it currently is, because you've not but one other time seen a medium-sized centipede. So that's a almost new situation that we are finding ourselves in. And from what you've seen with your 21, is there are different monstrous centipedes scurrying up trees and going along the forest floor, and they are scurrying about, agitated about something that has nothing to do with you, but you fear that you might be in their way.
In their way?
Like they're
it's
heading straight
coming
towards
us.
you. On the floor of the forest, along the trees, and we're talking somewhere in the range of 24, and the ones coming closest towards you, about 30 feet, seem likely to become hostile in the same way that a cat scratches someone after someone steps on its tail. You have wild empathy as a ranger, and maybe even Alex has it. I don't remember.
I
Yes.
do.
So we're dealing with diplomacy checks with the animals, where even if your charisma is below 12, you can still add 1, which is your class level.
I think that would be worth it. Like, I don't want to get scratched up. I rolled a 14.
What it resulted in was you were doing your best with a hey, whoa, no, ease up, we're not enemies, but it just wasn't time. Because typically it's a 10-minute check, so you take a -10 if you're doing it as a full round action. So we are at a point where you did your best, a very, very valiant effort, but you are now rolling initiative to protect yourself against monstrous centipedes who mean to kill you.
No, don't kill us.
Don't. It worked. They stopped.
I guess in a sense.
All right, so what do I need to do?
So roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier.
Oh my gosh!
Where? Oh no! Where am I?
No, yeah, this is bad.
Where's my no? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Wait. Yeah. Oh dear. My initiative modifier is 2, and I only rolled a 5. So
Okay.
Better than me. I have a 3.
Okay. Hold on to those for a second.
He's like,
This is what I do with Riken. I was hoping this would be a bit different since I actually get a plus to my initiative. No.
Okay. I've got the centipede rolls now, and that's not something I ever thought I'd say. Centipede. What's the notification? Woman Friday has followed.
yeah, I
D.
don't know why I wasn't before.
10. Centipede A. Centipede A is this one back here. So green thing is going to go full movement speed, which according to the monster manual is 40 feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then Centipede B is actually going to climb up this tree here and then jump to this tree. So Centipede B is on a tree right now.
How dare they climb trees?
Climbing things. And then Centipede C is going next and is going to do the same thing, climb this tree. And then this centipede is going to get right around here, going around this tree area here. And that means that it is now Ysarelle's turn.
Okay. How far am the two closest to us, or rather, let's say the one directly in front of me? What number is that one, or what letter?
Which one right in front of you? That is
Right in front of
Centipede
me.
A.
Centipede A. Oh, he got 16. Okay, so I have a longbow. I have really good range on it, so I'm gonna try to. I mean, there's no way around it, right? Like they're coming at us, right?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Basically, you are aware that you are in mortal danger.
Okay. I guess I have to pull out my longbow. All right. All right. Let's see if this works. Okay. Whoop! That almost fell off my desk. I rolled a 16.
Okay. 16 will in fact hit.
Oh, I rolled an 8.
That kills Centipede A.
Yes.
Kills it dead. Boom. No more Centipede A. Full movement speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to go here. And is going to attack Ysarelle.
No.
And I'm going to miss horribly, so there's that.
Yes.
Unless your AC happens to be 6, fingers crossed.
Let me look. It's higher than that.
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, in that case, it is now. I think it's Kador's turn.
It might be. It might finally be his turn. Don't worry, I'm used to it with Riken. Then Kador is going to go to the one that's in front of him to the right a little bit,
Yes.
and he's gonna run up to it and attack with his quarterstaff.
Just a quarter of the staff.
Well, half of the quarterstaff, and he got a 15.
15 does hit.
Okay. And then... Oh, he does 6 damage.
Okay, there is no more Centipede D.
Nice.
We are now back at Centipede B. Smack that centipede, says Tristan in chat. Alright, Centipede B is going to do some tree hopping.
Uh-oh.
So it jumps to this tree. And then it jumps to this tree. And then it hisses at you. Okay, this centipede that's in the middle tree is going next. That is centipede C. Is going to jump from its tree and land directly in front of Kador, and then attempt a bite attack. Because you have the nerve of being in its way. Does 7 hit? Oh man, this is like the opposite of last week. All right, that means that we are at, let's see, near Bree is centipede 4. Yeah, so we've got Ysarelle now.
All right. Oh dear. Oh no. Now Kador is getting attacked. Oh. Or wait, was he attacked?
Yes, he
Not yet.
was.
Oh,
Poorly.
wait, I was?
Successfully?
Poorly.
Poorly.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Okay,
why I was
okay.
like, I don't remember saying if I got hit or not.
You know what? I might regret this, but I don't like that someone's trying to hurt my friend right now, so I'm gonna try to shoot Centipede B in the tree so that it's hopefully one-on-one after this.
Centipede be in the trees.
I think I can reach that, right?
There
You're
is going to
talking
be...
about the one that's in the corner. Like,
She's talking about the one that's not next to you?
yeah.
So she's not technically firing into melee, but there is going to be a concealment where we're firing past a tree and past Kador and past a centipede. Fortunately, the medium-sized centipedes are not going to be standing on hind legs or anything, so there is a shot. It's just going to be through concealment. So after you roll your attack, if it hits, roll percentile or some way to flip a coin, and it's a 50% chance to miss.
Okay. So, do I risk doing this move?
Well, the rules don't make it to where you automatically hit Alex if you miss.
I know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be mad at the one that actually attacked him, and I'm just gonna shoot that one instead.
What are you shooting?
It might still be concealment though, right? A little bit. C.
With C, you're going to have a -4 for shooting into melee.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna see if it works anyway here.
Hey, Tristan got it too.
I rolled a 15.
A 15 with the -4 figured in?
That's 11. That's
Oh,
11.
okay. Also, the centipede next to you gets an attack of opportunity because you fired a ranged weapon in front of it.
Well,
Wait, that's the highest roll I've had all day. Does a 15 hit?
yeah, it does hit. I have 14 AC.
Okay. You take... Not going to be a lot. 1 damage.
Okay.
But
Ooh,
there's
that's
also
rough.
an additional effect.
Uh-oh.
No. Let's see. Where's that page? Make a fortitude save.
Fortitude. Where is that? Okay. What is this? I can't see. My die is so old. Okay. It's not great. I rolled a 4 and my fortitude is 3, so 7.
Okay. So here's what happens. You take 2 points of dexterity damage
Okay.
from a poison.
Okay. All right.
The poison is going to persist for, it appears to be 2 turns. So we're
Okay.
going to keep track of that because if it's not cured, it will hurt you again.
Yep.
But you took 1 point of damage there. So we are now at the centipede who just did the attack of opportunity. And it does not hit because I am rolling like a DM should.
All right, Kador unfortunately has stuff in front of him, so he can't help after he saw Ysarelle get attacked. So he's going to try to take out the one that she just missed. Nat 20.
Okay, roll to confirm crit.
Okay. And how do I do that?
Just roll to hit again.
Just roll to hit again. Okay. Yeah, 15. So.
Yes, that is a crit.
Oh,
So
that is a crit.
in
Okay.
3-5, a crit is you will roll the damage twice and add the modifiers twice.
Okay. centipedes. This one. 9.
Okay, that centipede is pulp. Bree, Tristan wants to point out that if you want to make your ranged attacks against something that's right next to you, if you can do it, a good option is to take a 5-foot step, because then
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
are no longer next to them.
Sweet.
Okay, we have 2 centipedes left in this encounter. So centipede B is going to hop out of its tree and land basically where the other one was, and is on top of it. Probably intends to eat that centipede after this battle's over, because bugs are gross. Let's see. Yes, that's
Protein,
what you have a
man.
DM for, to tell you bugs are gross. That is a 10 to hit, so it's been a good day for the centipedes. Now we're at Ysarelle.
Well, I still have that dexterity issue. However, I'm pretty sure I can still move, stumble back a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, this doesn't feel quite right. But screw you.
So are you going to stick with the one that's in front of you, or take that 5-foot step?
I'm gonna take 5-foot step back.
Hey, backwards? Okay.
Yeah, backwards.
I will move you, and then you have a shot at both of them. There's just the penalty shooting at the one that's on Kador.
Sure. Nope. I will. I'll shoot at the one who was who poisoned me. The little jerk.
How
That
dare
will
that?
affect your 2
How
hits.
dare you? I thought the world was a little bit better than this.
Well,
right.
the world's gonna roll you.
Nope.
Uh,
All right. I'll roll to hit E. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's 14.
Did that figure in the dexterity penalty?
I guess no. Was that -2 then?
Well, it was -1 for the modifier. Does it figure in point blank shot?
I don't know.
I think it doesn't. So I think it
Doesn't?
evens out.
Okay.
14 is
Does it
exact
even out?
hit.
Okay, perfect.
Remember, you get +1 damage at this range.
Oh, where'd my dice go? Okay, there it is. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna roll for that. 6.
Okay, that's a
I rolled a 6.
squishy
So-
centipede. It's gone.
Yes.
We are at Kador.
All right. Is it just the one that's in front of me now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's getting attacked. Wait. Okay. Yeah, it's getting attacked. I've got that 20 again.
Okay.
Jeez.
And then a 16. So
Yep.
I assume that's good. And another 9.
Okay, can you want to describe in detail how this centipede has been pulverized?
I would say that Kador lunged forward with his quarterstaff, getting it between the pincers inside the centipede, and then swinging it up, basically bringing it over his head and slamming it down into the ground.
Oh,
Gross.
nice, Kador.
So,
I'll teach it.
we're back where there's no fighting going on. Redboat's not doing anything because he's useless.
It played the song and then it was done.
I still have a -2 to dexterity though for one more turn.
Yes, and the secondary effect
FYI.
hits you for another 1.
Okay.
So to deal with that, we're gonna have to get a poison cure. I don't know whether that's something that Kador has access to, though.
Kador does not have anything poison related in his in his repertoire currently because he didn't prepare anything that had to deal with poison.
Fortunately, it's not just gonna sit there ticking down on you, Bree. So you've got time.
So I mean, I know herbs, and I have knowledge of nature. I also know survivals. Like, I'm pretty sure I could take care of this.
I'm not saying it's not possible. What you'll want to do is a heal check.
Okay.
I'm looking it up real quick.
Oh yeah, if the only thing I could have done would be just to detect poison, I wouldn't actually be able to.
And Tristan says, "Good job, guys."
Yes.
I saw that.
Treating poison. Oh, okay. It's the save DC.
Save?
So what you failed to roll, Bree, is the DC to cure the poison with heal.
Okay.
So you need to roll a 10 on heal.
I rolled a 7, but my heal is 5. So I did 12.
Okay. So the poison has now been cured. Your dexterity's back where it should have been.
Sweet.
Further into the forest. Now this is what it kind of looks like as we head further out. The trees are not nearly as thick. It's not nearly as green and so forth. But you can see the sun streaming through. It is about the middle of the afternoon.
Are you doing okay, Ysarelle?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I wasn't, I thought I'd lived in these woods for a little bit. I didn't quite expect to see something like that, but like I wanted adventure, right? Like that's just what's gonna happen.
Yes, those centipedes were pretty big, and they were running from something.
Oh, wait, they were?
That's what it seemed like.
What would that have been? Like, because I don't know. I thought I'd seen a lot of the stuff in these woods.
I don't know. Perhaps, out of character, Joseph, are we kind of like going against the path that the centipedes kind of took? So,
Yeah, you did pass where they were.
So then perhaps Kador would be like, well, maybe what made them run is going to be on our way to Santor.
How about this? We've got a ranger who can use tracking, and then we've got a druid with really high spot checks. So why don't we get a survival check from Ysarelle and a spot check from Kador?
Okay. Well, if we have to go past what those things were, let's figure it out.
Yeah. Spot, I got a 22.
I got not that high, sadly, 11.
Okay, with the spot check, you notice, not with the eyes of Aragorn, which is what we were going for with Bree, that you passed. Well, okay, you saw the signs of a centipede swarm heading towards you earlier. You kind of see signs of the scurrying and all that, and some eaten leaves and stuff. A few of them are dead because they got trampled on. But also, you see towards the edge of the forest a dead deer with an arrow in its side.
Aw, that stinks.
Who would have done such a cruel thing?
And your understanding of the Great Forest is that's not a thing that you have ever seen before and that you should be seeing. It is not allowed in the Great Forest for people to come there to hunt for sport. The hunting that occurs in the Great Forest, they're not going to just leave it lying there, and it's going to immediately be picked up and cooked. In this case, it was shot and left there, and upon further inspection, you find another corpse within about 50 feet, because you rolled really high, that these centipedes kill the centipedes. Who killed the deer? One of them, it was a dead body nearby where the antlers were actually cut off of it.
Oh. Wait. What? Who would have done this? None of us who lived in the woods would do this kind of thing. Are there more of them?
Kador is going to go up to the deer that has the arrow in it, and he's going to pull out
the arrow, because I don't know if I need to make a knowledge check, but it's possible that could be like special markings on to the arrow, possibly that could.
I also have craft Fletcher. I know that usually means you're actually crafting an arrow, but I don't know if that is anything about knowledge of arrows too.
If you want to make a check to identify anything on it, like a spot check, I'll give you a +2. Actually, I'll let you add your ranks in craft to it.
Oh.
Okay. Kador will hand the arrow to Ysarelle so that she has a better understanding of arrows.
Well, that works great because I rolled a 19 and my craft fletching is 1, so I rolled a 20.
I like how I said you could add your craft ranks to the check, and that ended up being the only bonus you got. All right, you look over it, and you pretty much are memorizing the fletching on it. It is not necessarily unique, but, you know, as a Fletcher, you are aware that pretty much every Fletcher is unique in some way. So you have now memorized the fletching on the arrow and the overall design of the arrow.
Okay. All right. I'll keep an eye out. If we see someone with this, then we'll know.
Don't ask me to give the details of the fletching. I'll do it next week, or no, 2 weeks from
now. Before they leave, Kador will want to, like, I guess, like, try to rip down, like, branches, like, leafy branches, if he can, and, like, cover them, since, like, he thinks it would be terrible to just leave them just uncovered, just sitting out.
Okay. There are 2 elements to the situation in Kador's understanding. I'm not always going to tell you how to react, Alex, but in this case, just because of your character's background, there's 2 elements to what's messed up about this. One of them is, obviously, it's bad to kill an animal when you're not going to eat it. And the other one is, even so, it is not a thing that the druid conclave is happy with for someone to just come into the forest and start hunting. Because this is a very balanced ecosystem that they maintain, and they will hunt when they need to, or they'll forage if they need to. But coming in as an outsider to disturb the balance of the Great Forest is not an offense that they take lightly. So it would still be bad even if they had actually gutted the thing.
Okay. While Kador is doing this, he wants to see if there's any tracks from whoever the perpetrators might be. If you can see any.
Do you have track?
I have track.
No, I don't have track.
Okay, you can look for tracks. You just won't be able to follow tracks. But Bree can.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you look, and if you see them, then I can track them.
Okay. Is that going to be another spot check then?
Yes. Okay. Or search.
17.
Okay. He has found some tracks.
All right. Well, I want to start tracking them.
Okay, make that survival check.
Okay. 20.
Okay, we are tracking the heck out of whoever did this, the poachers as we're going to call them. And they appeared to have left the forest in the direction of Santur.
Well, isn't that nifty?
Very convenient. We must keep an eye out then for them on our way.
Definitely. I don't like the idea of meeting such problematic people, but you can't do that to deer, you know?
Yes, they must answer for their crimes.
I don't know much about anything, much about any people even, but you know, if they're going to be like this, then I think I have to agree with you there.
I'm getting this vibe that Kador and Ysarelle know each other, but they haven't interacted enough to actually know how to be around each other.
It's possible.
Like maybe all their interactions have involved their mentors in some way or professional training, and now they're like out and it's just the two of them, and it's like, well, what do we talk about?
Yeah, well, she doesn't normally hang out with a lot of people.
Okay,
Neither
by
does
the end of the
Kador.
day, and occasionally you do see signs with that survival check that you made that you're going the right direction, following whoever it was that was here. You arrive at Center.
Ooh.
It is a wooden walled city that is a pretty decent size. It's not a capital city. It's not a port city, but it is a heavily traveled merchant city.
This is from Oblivion.
I think so. It's one of the Elder Scrolls games.
It looks familiar,
I'm
but
sure
it's cool. I like it.
Tristan will be able to tell us exactly what it is. I think it's safe to say Kador has been to Santer. So something that you know, even if you were a child when you came to Santer, is the law enforcement, which is the sheriff and his deputies in Santer. They will check in weapons of people who come into the city, because there is a very strong no violence rule in effect in Santer. It is a neutral city. They will not allow any violence of any kind. So the first thing you have to do when you get to Santer is you are escorted to a nearby office where you surrender your weapons.
What if my weapon is essentially just a walking stick?
Okay, Gandalf.
I mean, I do have a scimitar too, so I would hand that over. But
Well, let's say you've said that to them after you give the scimitar. Then I'm going to need some sort of check to convince them that your weapon is actually just a walking stick. Probably bluff.
say bluff. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be very good at that, so this probably won't go well. 13.
Just give me your quarterstaff, okay?
Fine.
I don't know a quarterstaff when I see one.
Kador will begrudgingly give them the quarterstaff and pretend like he starts hobbling.
Then he accepts whatever weapons that Ysarelle has.
Oh, you better not hurt my longbow. That's important to me.
I wouldn't dream of it, ma'am.
Okay.
He's very
All right.
deadpan.
Okay. I believe you. Thank you, sir.
I'll put it in a place of honor.
All right, Kador. What are we doing? This is probably one of the coolest cities I've ever seen in my life.
Is this the only city you've seen in your life?
Maybe? I mean, I grew up in one.
All right. Well, we can start perhaps looking for any shops and seeing if any of the arrows match that arrow that you have.
Oh, excellent call. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, but did the guy take my arrows as well?
Oh, it's true.
But you have it memorized, though.
Yeah, you do have it memorized.
I have it memorized. Okay. All right. So, do I need to do like a check to see if there's any sort of armory or armory shop or blacksmith or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay. What would that be?
Depends on how you want to go about doing it.
Okay.
Well, if I've been here before, wouldn't I know where the shops are?
You ever been to a city that you visited as a kid?
True. Okay.
Well, I could do you know what? I'm okay just starting to wander because I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, we can take a look around since this is your first time here.
Let's do it.
There's a heavy wood theme in Santer. Some of the buildings have some stonework. The front gates have some stonework, but most of it's wood because there is, lots of trees along the plains and everything. It is very well constructed. Looks like it. Some of the buildings are actually kind of new. Now that you're looking at them. Now I need a spot check, and then we can look for stores.
Spot check. Okay.
I got an 18 for spot.
I got a 10. Man, my spot's so crappy compared to yours, and I'm supposed to be a good ranger.
Well, I get +7, and I just happen to be rolling pretty decently
Yeah, you are.
on my spot checks.
Kador is able to point out various stores that might be the one you were looking for. So what specifically were we looking for?
Oh, what? I guess we're looking for a Fletcher.
Okay.
We're looking for a Bowman and Fletcher store.
Yeah.
So you've got two options, at least in this part of Santer, which is one of various general stores, or there appears to be some sort of like a blacksmith or armory sort of store.
I guess Fletcher, right? Sorry, what it was blacksmith or what?
There's a blacksmith / armory kind of looking store. It's got like a sign of some weapons hanging from it, and you hear the sounds of metal on metal. And then there's also various general stores. And this is simply what you've seen within walking distance of the front gates.
Well, let's take a look at the armory first, perhaps. Blacksmith.
Yes, I'm okay with this.
The sound of metal clanging on metal becomes louder. It does appear to be exactly what you thought, which is in the back there's a blacksmith, and he'll do like shoeing of horses and that sort of thing. But in the front, it's pretty much just a weapons store.
Can I use can I start looking? Does he have any arrows, first of all?
Yes.
Are they on display, or do I need to ask him?
There are some on
Can I see
display.
Okay, all right. Can I go and like look at them and see if they look like any of the arrows I remember looking at?
Okay. We can go with spot for that, probably.
Okay, all right. Let's try this. Oh my gosh, why are they so bad for spot? I got a 13.
Okay. It doesn't look like the fletching that you're looking for.
Kador, I don't see them.
I guess I can look around and try to make sure.
Someone comes up to the front counter and says, "Can I help you?"
Yes. We're wondering if you have any arrows.
Yes, and he gestures to the display and then says, "We also have some more that we can bring, and we do have a Fletcher that can do custom orders."
Ooh, can we see what you have?
Well, the display is representative of most of what we've got in our stock, just in larger quantities. Although if you're looking for special materials, those are a little bit harder to come by. But we do have a Fletcher further into the city that we have a working relationship with that could make custom arrows for you, like depending on your price range. If you brought Mithril, they could probably make it.
Oh, well, where's the Fletcher at?
It's further down the road, Main Street. If you go
We talked to the Fletcher.
about a quarter of a mile.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice day.
You too. All right.
Ysarelle, let's head down the street then.
Yes, I was a little disappointed we didn't find that arrow right there. But you know what? I guess I've not been in the city enough to know that there's probably going to be a lot more arrows in here than I realized.
Oh yes, it's a
There's so many arrows in the
decent-sized
city.
There's going to be multiple shops that are going to sell similar things. So it might take a little bit to find what we're looking for, if we can even find it.
So after the quarter-mile walk, you do find the Fletcher's shop. There is a similar but more detailed display in the shop, but we're talking arrows made out of iron, like iron tips, and there's flint tips, and the fletching is various colors and types of bird feathers. And it seems, with your experience from being a level 1 ranger, like it's just customizable options, like putting a spoiler on your car. But a
Nice.
few of them do look like they might actually be more useful than others.
Do I need to do a spot here too?
Yes.
Hmm. All right, let's see if I can recognize it. Oh, that's so much better. I rolled a 17 and my spot check a 6, so yeah, I'm good.
23 then.
Mm-hmm.
23, you
Well,
said?
I shouldn't say I'm good. Yes, 23.
Okay, you do not recognize the fletching, but it does seem like there was some fletching that was a little bit closer to what you were looking for compared to the general store or the armory.
I poke Kador in the side a little bit and kind of point to it.
Ah, what is it, Ysarelle?
That's a lot closer to what I remember looking at in the forest.
Let's see if maybe we can talk to the Fletcher.
Where?
And Kador will walk up, I guess, to whatever counter might be there, to whoever's working there.
Okay. Shortly, a woman in her 40s walks up to the counter, a human, and says, "How can I help you?"
Yes, we were wondering. We came across an arrow recently that had a distinct type of fletching.
my character could offer to like draw it too.
Yes, that's actually what I was going to say.
Yeah.
If you know what you're looking for, maybe you could draw it on this scrap of parchment here.
Yes, I can. Do
Make
you have
a
anything?
dexterity check.
Okay, dexterity. I rolled a 17. Where did my dexterity go? Modifiers 2.
Okay.
19.
You draw a pretty fair representation of the fletching as you remember it. And she eyes it and says, "So you're looking for that? Show it to my husband real quick if you'd like. I know it's not something we have on display, but I can talk to him and see if it's something that he's made."
Yes, please, if you could.
He takes the paper and then heads further into the building, comes back about 2 minutes later. You sort of make out during those 2 minutes like her yelling her husband's name as he's working like 5 times until finally she gets an answer and then she comes back. Yeah, he says he didn't make that. That's not his work.
Oh,
Shoot.
cute. Oh,
Well,
well, you can say that too, I guess.
No, we're just very similar. Well, we appreciate your time.
Well, you don't
could
have
we
to leave
have
just
the
yet.
drawing back, perhaps. Oh well, we're kind of searching for that specific arrow fletching.
Oh, okay. I didn't understand. I'm sorry. I thought that you were saying you wanted him to make it for you.
Oh no, we were looking to see if you knew, if you could like help us track that down.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me talk to him again. She goes in the other
Okay.
room. Here she's like, "Wilson! Wilson!" You hear a crash. She comes back.
Think they were okay back there?
He says he didn't make it, which we both, I know, you know, we all know that that's the case. He thinks I'm an idiot, apparently. But also, he does say that he's seen that fletching in town before. He can't quite place it, but he said that when he's done working, and I quote, he will totally drop everything to address this problem.
Oh.
Thank you. That's
That
very
would
kind.
be- That's so kind. See, I knew there are great people.
Yes, there are some very good people, Ysarelle.
So, in about an hour or so, that is when, if you are nearby, you will be flagged down.
So we have
I'm
an
sure-
hour?
I'm sure we could. I don't know if we'll be like directly like next to it, but we'll probably be just checking the shops since this is Ysarelle's first time in a city. So Kador would want to at least let her kind of look around at everything, and I'm sure that would take some time with all the shops that are probably around.
Yes. Is there anything specific we want to go through in that scenario?
So I chose a explorer's outfit, which I believe comes with a. Does it come with a hat? Let me look. I think it does. It come with a hat?
I don't know, but the way we were doing it was basically you could either choose one from the book or tailor your own, and it can come with a hat if it needs to.
Oh, I see. Because it might be interesting for her to not have a hat with her explorer's outfit, but then see a hat shop and be like, "What is this?"
Okay, we are at a hat shop now.
It's a haberdashery.
It's a haberdashery. What? You don't really need hats in the forest. I mean, the tree cover does plenty, but why would people be wearing this stuff?
Hey, Kador, roll intelligence.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta see what I got. What that thing is. Okay. +1. 14.
Okay, never mind.
All right.
As you were.
Dag.
I was trying to see if since the last time you were here you were a kid, that maybe you pronounce haberdashery wrong.
But I got it right.
Yes.
Okay. It's a haberdashery.
So can we go inside?
I don't see why not. Kador will open the door and allow Ysarelle to walk in.
Wow, Kador, have you ever worn a hat like any of these?
Maybe when I was a little kid, but like you said, I haven't really had a use for it. So I've been in the forest, and the trees pretty much give us good shade.
I wonder what adults wear these for then. I want to go up to the counter and see if anyone's up there.
Yes, there is a very pleasant woman in her early 30s who is either an elf or a half-elf. By half-elf standards, probably 30s. If elf, then probably well over like 150.
Okay. Well, hi.
Well, hello there, young lady.
I don't know anything about hats.
Did you know that they wear them on their heads?
I do know that. Yeah.
Kador will be going around looking at hats while she's talking with the person.
I don't know her.
Okay, couple things. First of all, how expensive are your hats? Because I have a little bit of money, but I also need something that I would enjoy wearing, like maybe on a special occasion.
Like a party.
I haven't been to a party yet, but yeah, that would be useful.
So if you're ever invited to a party, you want to be prepared.
Oh, hats are a part of this get up?
At least, well, the first part, it's a complicated subject. I haven't actually been to a party in a while. Actually, oh man. Ever since I had my third child.
Oh,
Are we saying that there weren't any parties in the conclave at all or anything? They're just
None that
they're
involve
very-
hats.
They're very straight laced.
They're
None
either
that
straight
involve
laced or it's
hats.
like partying with animals.
She wants a city party hat.
Okay.
Well, this woman can help you out as best she can, considering how she hasn't been to a party since she had her third child. But she's got some recommendations to address your concerns about the cost of a hat. She does say, in her mind, in her opinion, these are very affordable for the types of hats that they are.
Okay.
You will not find a better deal on these types of hats in all of Santer. Nay, the province of Hat itself.
Oh my. That seems impressive.
Oi, Ysarelle, take a look at this. And you're gonna
What
see
is it?
Kador having this giant three-pointed hat with this massive plumage like coming out of it. Doesn't this look great?
We call that the General.
What do you wear that kind of hat for?
I don't wear it.
Oh, well, that's fair.
I actually don't know why we have that hat. It's gaudy, but probably someone has bought one in the past, so we stocked up on it again.
How much is it?
She's thinking for a moment. 3 gold pieces.
I wasn't really coming in here for a hat.
Well, it seems like you found the right one for you.
I do kind of like it. What do you think, Ysarelle?
Are you trying it on?
Oh yeah, he's already put it on.
He's got
Oh, Elf at the counter is saying, "Oh, that's so becoming on you. It brings out the color of your eyes."
I think she's right. It does look like it. It does look
Kador's going to blush. Well, I think you had me sold.
Does that mean the hat is sold?
Yes.
Very well. You have bought yourself a general, or the general. Is that how you would? The general.
Bought the general. The general.
Yes, you have bought the general.
Awesome.
I like the color green. Is there something you would suggest for me to wear that's green?
Yes, we have just the thing for you over here. She points out something that almost kind of looks like a Robin Hood style hat. It's got that sort of shape to it. And it's kind of a dull, deep green color.
I like that. This would be easy to wear even in the forest. It's not huge like yours, Kador.
Feather is optional.
I would be okay with no feather. I'll find one and add it myself. How much is
Good
this?
idea.
For that hat is 5 silver.
Ooh, I will definitely pick this up then.
She puts a hand next to her mouth and whispers, not discreetly to Kador, "You need to keep an eye on that one. I think she's going to kill a bird."
Oh no, she won't kill a bird. I'm sure she'll just find a feather somewhere. No killing.
Like a pigeon.
I don't know if a pigeon's feather would be a good feather to use.
I'm just throwing ideas out there. I'm not an idea woman, but just trying to contribute.
Well, we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate your business. I hope you both, and she eyes Kador for a moment from like a side eye. I hope you both will grace me with your presence again soon.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
All right. Is it time to go to the Fletcher yet?
Are we gonna get waved down?
Now the Fletcher is ready for you. His wife sees you outside and comes out and sort of waves at you. Yeah, Wilson's ready. She turns her head back in. They're coming, Wilson. Wilson! They're coming! Wilson extends his hand and says, pleased to meet you. Call me Wilson. Of course, half the town already knows my name now. And it ain't for my fletching.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Wilson.
It is.
So let's have a look at that arrow, shall we?
Yes, this is a picture I drew for your wife.
That's a very nice drawing. So about the arrow.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. That's the arrow that you want. Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Thought we were giving presents to my wife.
Oh, no.
It's not the festival of romance just yet. So he looks at it for a second, kind of holds it away from him to get a better look at it, like people do when they have reading glasses. Looks at it for a second and says, yeah, I've seen that before. That's a popular fletching pattern with the local hunters.
Oh. I was worried you were going to say that.
Well, they didn't shoot you, did they?
No.
They shot some deer, it looks like for sport.
Well, hunters do shoot deer sometimes.
But no, that should not... Yeah, they can shoot the deer, but at least then use it for food. Do not just leave it lying around.
Oh, they left it? That's unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes, it's disgusting.
Well, that is not my fletching. As I understand it, a lot of the hunters around here tend to make their own fletching. But if you are trying to track down the hunters, well, I'm not going to give you names or anything like that because it hurts my business. I will say that you are in the right city.
Excellent.
Is there possibly a certain spot, like a tavern or anything where the hunters typically go?
Yes, I would imagine it would be some of the taverns and inns and so forth located near the gates. There is a gate, I don't know which one you came in, but there's a gate to the east and there's a gate to the west.
All right. That's at least a good place to start. We appreciate it. Well, we came in the west gate, so that's where the tracks were going, so maybe they might have been gone in there.
Should we head to the tavern? I was always told by the headmistress that, you should always avoid the tavern because there are people that were, questionable that went there, but I'm older now. I can totally go over there.
Yeah. There's questionable people everywhere. You just gotta be careful and keep an eye out.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm up for it if you are.
To the tavern we go. Thank you, Wilson.
Have fun storming the tavern.
We will, although I don't know why he thinks we should storm it.
I would like to put it on pause, put a needle in that, because this is a good time in 2 weeks' time for me to introduce another character.
Ooh.
Okay. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
I'm hoping to make it a lot more interesting come 2 weeks' time when we start to deal with the issue at hand.
Uh-oh.
Next week, episode 3 is Diplomacy of the Pockets. It's already been named through a dialogue line said by Tristan. We're going to conclude their storyline over in Trapper's Camp. Then we're going to pick up the Santer storyline with the Hunters in 2 weeks' time. That will be on July 23rd. And I very much appreciate Tristan and Derek and whoever else came to hang out with us, enjoying our little D&D session. And also, I very much appreciate our two players, Alex and Bree, for being good sports about all of this.
Woo! Well, this is my second venture into D&D, my first in 3.5.
Yes.
Pretty
This
much
will
the
be
same.
interesting.
And in the meantime, this is Valenaria Chronicles, Alex and Bree, and myself, the Dungeon Master Joseph Dunlap. I'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
#goodbye.
Hmm.
Kristen would be upset if I didn't do that, I think. Hey, look, it's my desktop. Part of it.
Goodbye.